All right. Our next fight of the night is former title challenger in the females featherweight division. I think that's 145. We have
Mm-hmm.
Felicia Spencer coming in against Leah Leston. Um, Felicia Spencer coming at 8-3, coming off a loss to Norma Dumont, who is on the rise. I think she's a very good fighter. And then obviously before that, she lost to Cyborg and Amanda Nunes, the GOAT. But Felicia, she's coming in at 5'6" with the 68-inch reach. And then we have Leah Letson, who I believe took a 3-year break. This is her first time back, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, almost 3 years.
Hold on. Can we just take a moment? Tap Out did that girl wrong, man. Y'all couldn't find a better picture to use than that one. I'm not saying she's not a pretty girl. She's very pretty, but man, they kind of screwed her. And if I was Leah Letson, I would have a bone to pick.
We're just not gonna flame her. I mean, she's gonna have a tough time in the octagon regardless. She's coming in at a height of 5'7" with the 71-inch reach. She's gonna have a height and reach advantage this weekend. But I'll let you kick this off. I'm pretty sure we see this the same way. You got an
Yeah.
experienced vet versus a girl that hasn't been in the octagon for almost 3 years.
Well, I mean, having not been in the octagon for 3 years is a problem, especially when she just turned 29. She's almost 30. I'm not saying that's old by any means, but she's not new to this game by any means either anymore. At this point, she's an ultimate fighter winner technically. Well, not technically. She is an ultimate fighter winner. That's pretty impressive.
She
She's
lost
got
to Macy Shazan in that season, by the way.
Did she?
Yes. She got
But she,
TKO by Macy Shazan.
I just mean her striking is usually pretty crisp. She's pretty technical. She understands what she's supposed to be doing. Now, getting that done sometimes is a little bit more difficult. I just really think where this fight is going to end up is similar to kind of the analysis we gave for the Dawkins and Delidze fight. Except this time, I'm a lot more confident in saying that Felicia Spencer is going to come out. She's going to wrestle, and this is going to turn into a ground and pound situation. I don't think she's going to get her out of there. I think this is probably going to be a pretty boring fight for us, but split decision on the Font v. Garbrandt card for Felicia Spencer. I picked her, so of course I actually scored that fight for her, but I think mentality, I think coming into this fight, she's pissed off. She doesn't think she lost that fight. And, truthfully, I think a lot of us are kind of starting to forget about her. I think a lot of us are kind of starting to let her, slip away in that 145 division
Well,
because a
hold
lot
up,
of
hold
us
up,
like
hold
to
up,
pretend
hold up.
like it doesn't exist.
Well, that's because it doesn't exist. If you go to the UFC's website, there's no rankings. There's Amanda Nunes, and then there's nobody because there is nobody to challenge Amanda Nunes. Big shocker. You need some more talent, UFC. But anywho, just to kind of go off what you're saying, yeah, Norma Dumont, she's really good and she showed up, but she was also fighting me. God, I'm thinking about next week. I'm sorry. She also fought Felicia Spencer after she had some time outside the octagon, right? So, I
Right.
mean, you have to take that in account. So, but I mean, this isn't really that exciting of a fight, in my opinion. I don't think there's going to be a finish, but I do agree with you that Felicia Spencer is going to utilize the ground and pound and is going to take this girl down and make her have a miserable night.
I was about to say, Leah Letson is good. She is a good fighter, but she is not Chris Cyborg. She's not Amanda Nunes. And I
Definitely
mean,
not Norma Dumont.
truthfully, we give this girl a lot of shit for I think no reason, but she's no Megan Anderson either, who's actually a pretty good fighter at 145 pounds. So I think generally I'm just gonna come to the conclusion that this probably, I'm gonna go back on my word. This probably will get finished if you had to ask me. I think I think Spencer holds her down for the first round. In the second round, there's some sort of submission. I'm not going to call the rear naked choke, but I am feeling it.
Well, I think we feel pretty much similar in that Felicia Spencer is the minus 290 favorite is going to get done. Plus 260 on the comeback for the underdog Leah Letson. You know, I'm just not really feeling this. I wouldn't really focus my money on here. I might include it on a parlay this week. But other than that, I mean, the money line's not tasty enough. I'm not really for sure. And Felicia Spencer coming off of a loss. So, I mean, take that for what you will. But I think just for a pick's sake, we're both going to take Felicia Spencer, however she decides to get it done.
No, I agree. I think Spencer wins by submission at plus 330 is probably going to be a little bit too much for me to keep my hands off of. But
It's not high enough for me.
I was about to say the Spencer wins by a unanimous decision is only plus 150. You know, I think if you're going to take her solo and that's somewhere you want to devote your money, that's a pretty safe bet. That's a pretty fair one. And I think that, you know, barring my submission bet coming through, that one's going to be next in line to hit. But I don't know. I like Gage's idea. I think we take that minus 290 and we're going to use it in a parlay, maybe with our boy Song Yadong a little bit lower down on the card and make a little favorites parlay. But I like Felicia Spencer plus 330 with a submission.
Well, I like Felicia Spencer in a parlay, but that's just me. You people do what you want. This is just advice, not gambling advice, though.
Well, if it were gambling advice, at least it would be good gambling advice. But who am I to fucking judge?